Hey guys, this is Angela, and today's topic, as you guys can see, is going to be narcissist, pathological lying, and gang stalking. I feel like if you guys get it, you guys just get it and understand that it's all really one in one. It all really goes together, but we have to understand that everyone's in different spiritual levels right now. A lot of people are dealing with narcissists in their immediate families, relationships, and this is the beginning of a lot of their awakenings because due to the narcissist lying, you end up in situations where you could be in jail or you can lose everything, and here you are still worried about what they're doing, which is pathologically lying because that's all they do. They're deceivers. So I'm going to give you guys a verse. It's Proverbs chapter 10, verse 18. He who conceals hatred has lying lips, and he who spreads slander is a fool. So this is saying he who conceals hatred has lying lips. Someone who is a liar, a pathological liar, is full of hate. They conceal hatred. They have hate in themselves. And this is where you see how although they have this good persona that they make you believe, where you start to believe that everyone is getting treated, better than you, you still see the hate. You still see the authentic self of them when they decide they've had enough or they don't really care in that moment. And if you really pay attention, you see how much they're just angry. They're mad at everyone. They feel like everyone owes them something. They feel very entitled. How can someone that's such a pathological liar and who's constantly lying about who they are can just be so boastful? How can they be so proud of that? But yet play the victim after. And this is why, because he who conceals hatred has lying lips. They're liars. And he who spreads slander is a fool. So if someone is going to lie on you, or you catch someone lying, or you catch someone that's full of hate, this is a person who will slander your name. This is a person you can't trust with information, because they will go and expose everything you've ever told to people. And not just that, but they will twist things and they will slander you. That's the perfect word for it. They'll slander you. And these will be, this can be anyone, people in your family, your friends, and people you're in a relationship with, and people who are like that, who just gossip and talk bad about others. This is by far the truth. If someone talks bad about others, they're bound to lie. I know that a lot of times we have to tell white lies, but these lies are not just, white lies. These lies are very dramatic. And this goes to show how, when you're growing up, people tell you, if your friend comes back and tells you that someone else was talking about you, look at your friend and say, whose side are you on? Because how would you know what they're saying about me? So anyone around you automatically who has those type of intentions where they're hateful, they're talking bad about others, know that this person is filled with rage, and you really don't know what you can or cannot expect from that person. But one thing's for sure, this person's a pathological liar. They'll lie about how much money they have. They'll lie about their name. They'll not lie about their age. They'll lie about family problems that, things that happened, but in reality, they don't really give a damn about those things. They'll complain to you about a close friend doing them dirty, but in reality, they're the ones who have been doing stuff to them for a long time, and they finally reacted. And what they're thinking about is, damn, that person finally got me back. Now I have to get them back worse. So this is why sometimes you'll see that they'll stop talking to their friends for a while, and then they'll be friends again. And that's because they go back and play this lying character with them. And it's all because they're pathological liars. They're programmed to really just mess with people. You have to really look at them like robots that are just out here just with a quote on their head that says, terminate, terminate, terminate. And they're sitting here just trying to terminate everyone. So you can't really take their pathological lying serious, because there's no helping these people. Even if you're in a relationship with them and you decide to be in an open relationship, they're not getting off on that. They like control. So even if you allow them that, they're still going to find other ways to do deceitful things behind your back. And because they don't respect you, it's going to be even worse for you. Because they'll play that game for a very long time, no matter what you're going through. They're very deceitful. So I am going to give you guys this verse by John chapter 8, verse 44. You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do for your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and has nothing to do with the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out on his own character, for he is a liar and father of lies. And that is so true. When the narcissist speaks to you, it could be about anything, or when they talk bad about you, they're speaking on their own character. A lot of times they give you hints. They tell you that their friends or their co-workers been through something, or they're telling you about a female or a male friend of the opposite gender, and they're telling you a story that happened to them with their significant other, but in reality, that's actually something that happened with them too, literally. These people are just programmed to really try to destroy you. But this is just saying a lot of, it's showing you their character. And what I find crazy about this is that they're all programmed the same. We all have the same stories. All these people are the same characteristics, same patterns. It's kind of like watching. I feel like this is literally what happens with everyone, and this is what happened with them, because our brain is so powerful. And, we can get addicted to things right away. We have an addictive nature. And sometimes things happen and we don't understand that it affects us in a subconscious level. And it's kind of like taking your kids to go watch a movie, a PG movie, a PG-13, a rated R, and you're telling your kid, or you're telling, the child, like, you can't watch the rated R movie. And they're like, why? And they're like, you're telling them because it's for adults. Because you don't want them to see these images of all these things, because you know that in a subconscious level, it's going to affect them. So when you're dealing with a pathological liar and these people around you that come into your life trying to basically ruin your life, they're all in a computer program, and they're all thinking the same, they're all doing the same things, but you're the only person that's out of that program, and you're trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with you. And then you realize it's other people like you that are also dealing with them, that are dealing with these robots, basically, that just are pathological liars, cheaters, chronic cheaters, and just very deceitful people, and people who put you in situations where they want to harm you, they want to destroy you, they want you to feel suicidal, weak, all based on their need to lie, because they feel all this hate inside. Because maybe if you're dealing with a low-grade narcissist, most of the time they didn't accomplish anything. They're not even living. They're dead. They're actually just surviving. So this is why they use everyone for supply. They want to see, what do you have? You have a nice house. They want to start taking pictures and acting like certain things that belong to you are theirs. They basically come in your life playing these games. They know exactly what they're doing. Everything is a lie. Everything is a front. They're just there simply to watch you. And this is why it feels like they're watching your moves at all times, or your expressions. They want to know everything about your life. They want to get all this information because they know that eventually you're going to figure them out. And this is why they get angry. And they know that when you figure them out, they have to have a backup plan already set up. It's like a robber going into the bank. He's not just going to go into the bank and take everything. He's going to have a plan before he goes into the bank. He's going to have people to drive him off. Those are their flying monkeys, people around them, that are in on it too. And then this is where everyone will start to play their role in trying to make you feel inferior to them. I wanted to give you guys a quick story, me, story time, of a situation that I went through with a narcissist that I was dealing with, because I feel like it helps you guys to understand their pathology. It's good to understand the pathology of things in order to survive, and in order to have knowledge, but at the same time dumbing it down, because these people, once they see that you're smart and you will have enough strength to figure them out, and they don't want to go to war with you because you're a warrior. They don't want to go through with that fight most of the time, because they don't want people to view them differently, especially the people that don't really, aren't really close to them. And they know, by you finding out, they're expecting the worst. They're like, I know that they're going to get pissed. They might try to break my car, do something. They're expecting the worst, trust me. So, with my ex that was obviously sent to watch over me, basically, that's literally how I look at it. So with him, I worked like an afternoon shift, and then he worked like a afternoon shift, but he went in a little bit later than me, so I got off work before he did. But that day he was just acting weird. He just had an attitude, so I kind of knew just to back off. I wasn't saying anything, and I didn't really care. I was just kind of like, I'm gonna go to work, I'll see you later, and hopefully by then you'll be like in a better mood. But I was a waitress at that time, so when I got home, a lot of times, like, I would like take food home for him and things like that. So I go to sleep, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and I hear him come in. And I could tell he was like drunk or something. And I was like, why? In my head, I'm thinking, you just got off work. Why are you drunk? But I was just so over him to the point where I was like, I know we're going to break up because I'm going to leave your ass. So I was already just like, whatever. So I rolled over, and he got like on top of me and was trying to wake me up, and I was just like, get off my face, like get off me. And I put the blanket over my head. So I ended up dozing off. The light, when he came in, he turned on the light. I didn't go to sleep with the light on, I had turned it off. He came in and turned it on. So I ended up going to sleep. And when I wake up, like maybe 5:30 in the morning, I'm like hearing, the neighbor had a rooster. So I'm like hearing the rooster, and I'm like, where is he? And like, he didn't even lay down with me. I could tell I was just in there by myself. Then I looked at the floor, and there was like juice all over the floor. And I'm like, why is there juice everywhere? Why did he spill everything everywhere? The light was still on. And there was like a extension cord, and it was right on the water. Like, it was plugged in and everything, and it was right on the juice water. So I'm waking up, I'm freaked out. Then I look at the floor, and I see how the extension cords are all there and everything's plugged in, and there's juice everywhere. And I'm actually thinking, one, where are you at? Why is this crap wet? Like, are you trying to kill me? Like, what if I would have got like electrocuted or something, and I'm just sleeping there, laying down, and right next to the bed, everything's wet. And I just found it odd that the electrical cord was literally in the center. Then the door was open to go outside. The front door was open. I mean, like, anyone could have walked in open. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I get up and I walk out the front door, and I look around, and his car's not there. And I just started crying. And I was just like, what the hell? Like, you got off work. Like, I had never seen him in action like that, because like I said, they're liars. They're very good at, doing things, but I feel like he was at the point where he knew that I didn't care. So now he was showing me like, I don't care either, and I'm going to show you that I don't care. And I'm going to leave. And I'm going to leave you here by yourself, so when you wake up in the morning, you're wondering where I'm at. And not just that, but he put that extension cord. That's why I said these people are very dangerous. You have to be careful about who you have around you. So I get back in, and then I walk into the kitchen because his brother's there, like, making coffee. And then I walk in, I was still crying. He's like, what's wrong? And I was like, your brother didn't come home. Like, he came home, but he left, and he's not here. I don't know where he's at. And he goes into the room, and I was like, look, and there's like juice everywhere. And then his brother is like, why is this extension cord here? And that's when it hit me again. When he said that, I was like, okay, he knows this was weird, that extension cord was there. So his brother actually moves it, and he gets a mop, and he starts mopping it out. And he was like, man, I don't know where my brother is at. Like, he knew that his brother gets into shit, and like, he knows that this is like regular behavior for him. That's literally the vibe that I got from him, because he literally said, if he's in jail or anything like that, he'll call. And when he said that, I was like, what? And I mean, this is someone who told me they didn't have a criminal record. They've never been to jail and things like that. So now I'm like, you are way too calm about this. So his other brother comes comes up to the house, and then his brother's telling me that he went to jail, and he's telling everyone, actually. So now I know he's in jail. He tells me his number. They said that he was going to be out over the weekend, and that he had a DUI. So since he had a DUI, I was like, okay, he'll be out over the weekend, but I still want to be there for him. And I want to know, like, what happened and why were you drinking? And you just got off work. So I end up calling the police station, and I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I talk. So when I called and I started speaking to the police officer, I tell him, I'm calling for John Smith. I'm just making a name up. So I'm telling him I'm calling for John Smith. He's inmate number, blah, 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 blah. I just need to know his status, and the situation of why he was arrested. So he ends up telling me where he got arrested, the area he got arrested. He ends up telling me how much liquor he had. He literally tells me every single thing. So then he tells me to hold on. I was passed to someone else, and this was like a female operator or something. And because he told me to hold on, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to hold on. But then since I'm talking to her, she's like, what's the reason for your calling? So she asked me again. So I told her, I called for inmate number, blah, blah, blah. His name is John Smith. From what I know is that he got pulled over right here. That he was intoxicated, that his point system is this. I just want to know, when is his court day? And she goes, his court day, why do you need his court date? And I was like, well, I need to know, I want to go up there to, pick him up. And then she goes, pick him up. And then she's like, wait, who told you all this information? And I told her, the officer. So when she said that, she's like, he wasn't supposed to tell you any of that information. Like, that's information that he wasn't supposed to tell you. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so this man tells me the truth. I feel like, that was God. He was telling me the truth. That's why I say these people, they end up destroying themselves with their own lies. Everything is always exposed. You don't have to expose them. You don't have to expose any of these people. They expose themselves. It's just a lot of people are blind to it, and it's going to take them to get knocked on the head for them to finally wake up. And it took a lot of us a lot to wake up from these situations where we didn't really know what was happening at that moment. So you will get, literally your angels, to tell you the truth when you're dealing with these people. You'll have situations where it's like an angel came and used someone to get to you or help you in a situation, because all their lies will always come to light. They will always be exposed. So with that being said, the lady goes, the area he got in, it's like a bad area, right? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, all right, good luck. Trying to tell me what he was probably up to. So come to find out, the area that he was in, I was calm the whole time, but at the end, I was just so in shock. And I was in shock because the area that he was in was an area where it was known for prostitution, and it's heavy prostitution. It's if someone is in that area around that time, they're for sure, trying to find them hookers, because that area, it's the prostitution and all that stuff, they used to be out like at nighttime. That was the time they would come. But I feel like they've been in so many bad situations with the police and stuff like that. What they do now is that they're out there in broad daylight, like literally daytime. They're just walking around in skimpy clothes and stuff like that. So when he gets off of work like 3-4 in the morning, and that's the time where they start walking around for 3-4 in the morning all the way till maybe 9 a.m. So I was just kind of like putting all the pieces together, and I just broke down. And his brother was there because we were talking, and then I ended up telling him what happened. And I'm thinking his brother's just different from him. I'm not thinking that they're all in this together, So he ends up telling everyone what I said. And I guess when he called from jail, meanwhile, he never called me, contacted me. He was talking to other people. He contacted someone, and they called his family. So that was a sign for me. I was like, well, who called? Because he didn't call me. Like, who did he call? And then he was like, oh, I found out from my sister. I'm like, who told her? And then he was like, someone, a friend of the family or something like that. So that's when I caught the lie, because I think they weren't expecting me to go like ask so many questions. And that's when I realized, like, what the hell. So when he called his family and told them, and they told him what I was saying, what I told his brother about the area that he got caught, he quickly told them that they wrote down the wrong information on the paperwork and that he's fighting them about it right now. Why would you have to fight with them to change it? I mean, who cares if what you're saying is true? Just say that, they put the wrong information on there. But why are you trying to defend yourself to the point where you're trying to tell them to change the address, change what they put on there? Why would you want them to change the address? That's what I was kind of like, no, you're kind of telling on yourself. That's what I said on that Bible verse. It says, he speaks out on his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. These people are liars. So he didn't that's what he was doing. So he started to slander my name. And when he came home, he wanted me to be with him, because he wanted me to make him feel better, because he felt like ish after spending the weekend in jail. So it's like he wanted me to be there with him, but at the same time, because everyone was talking about me and the situation, he decided to go off on me in front of everyone and call me a liar and call me all these names and say that I'm just a liar and a hater and all these things. And I'm like, this is information that the police gave me. Like, this is information that it's on your paperwork. And then what was funny was that when I picked him up from the courthouse, he left his paperwork in my car. Like, it slipped, and it slipped on the side of the door. So when I was cleaning the car out, I realized he left his paper there. So then I felt like, wow, that's God again. Like, look, don't listen to what the hell he's saying. He is a liar. It's like God shows you. So then I'm really thinking like, wow, like, now I have this paper in my hand because he's been making me feel crazy. Like, maybe it's in my head. Maybe he is right. Maybe they did write the wrong information. I just know that the direction where he works and the direction where he got caught, he should have got out the freeway before that, and he kept driving down to that area. So to me, he's like, that's down the street. I'm like, yeah, all the way down the street. Why would you be in that area? That's, the area where you get off, where he says that he got off. He's like, I got off like I always get off in the same street. That street is such a big street. I just feel like the police officers wouldn't have made that type of mistake. You get me? And when that paper was left, that was confirmation to me again. And when I seen it, I literally felt myself like, it was like I was having an outer body experience, and it was like my spirit was telling me, look, don't believe the lies. I know it sounds so good that you start to believe it, because they try to program you to believe those lies so that you don't know that they're secretly trying to destroy you and trying to turn everyone against you. This is why they're pathological liars, because they do stuff they don't want others to know. It's all an act. Everything is an act, a fairy tale. You don't know what kind of dirty stuff they're into. But like I said, everything that's in the dark comes to light. So when I seen that paperwork, it was like it confirmed to me once again. And it made me go back, because I actually started to believe him. He was so hysterical, telling everyone I was a liar. Then he was telling me, like, he's like, if you're my girl, like, you're not supposed to be against me. Like, who does that? Like, a real girlfriend would, like, talk about things before saying it to their family. Like, why would you say that to my brother? Like, things like that. And it made me feel bad. He gave me a guilt trip, so I did feel bad. And I was like, damn, like, you might be right. Like, it should be between us. But no, there's so much abuse these people give you, so you're gonna have weak moments where you can't take it anymore. And I think for me, when I saw that the area he was in, to me, it was a confirmation, because he already did things when we would have, when we were intimate. He already did things that I didn't want to do, or say things that I didn't like. So when I heard that, it was like, yeah, he's on some weird shit, So I just literally left him alone, because it was like a constant harassment with all these people that he was trying to have gang stalk me. Then, oh man, you guys are going to like freak out, because something just literally popped up on my head right now, and it's making me, oh my gosh, it literally just gave me goosebumps right now. Oh my God. So when he came, I ignored him for a while. And then, they always come back. They're literally now pissed off. So they want to destroy you now. But I didn't want to talk to him. So he knew that he had to approach me in a manner, or like he had to do something for me to seem like he was a nice person. And, it was just a misunderstanding. So he was trying to invite me out to dinner and them type of things. And quickly after that, of course, he turned on me. Well, we didn't end up going to dinner or anything, but he turned on me. And what happened was his friend saw us one day together. We were in the car, and when we pulled up to a street, his friend was in the front, and he pulled his window down, and I realized that his friend, I didn't know him, but I knew his brother. I knew his friend's brother. So then I said to myself, like, you know him? And he was like, yeah, like, this is my childhood friend. I've been knowing him. Oh my God, this is crazy. He basically told me he's knew him since he was in elementary school, since they were kids, that they grew up on the same street. So then after that, I realized that all the people that I grew up with, even some of the people that bullied me when I was growing up, they were all connected to people that I actually know. So I realized that I've been knowing this person for literally so many years, and I'm barely finding out that a lot of your childhood friends are my childhood friends as well, and people that I used to know, people from my past that I got rid of, because when I started to grow up and I started to realize that I didn't want to be around certain people, I cut everyone off and literally started a new life for myself, and I was succeeding and doing good, and I was like manifesting shit. So it's crazy to me that at the end of that relationship, I find out that everyone that he grew up with, I grew up with. And what's crazy now is that we're not together, and when I don't talk to those people, but if they see me, they'll ask me about him, and I'm like, I don't talk to him. I tell them all the time I don't talk to him, and they'll still ask me, have you seen him? And it's almost like they're trying to F with me. So at the end of the relationship, when I ended up going through his phone, and he had let me use his phone to get on YouTube, but it was like the relationship was over, and he knew that I was done. It was at that point. So he let me use his phone on YouTube, and then I think he knew that I was going to go through it, and I think he wanted me to find out. So I started going through first I just went through like his Google, and I started to see that he had a lot of like mask. Like, you know, like the movie The Mask, the dude with the green face, and how every time he puts that wooden mask to his face, he turns into someone else. He had literally a wooden mask, and it said ritual mask that he was trying to purchase. That shit freaked me out, because I'm just on another level that when I see those type of things, I'm like, this isn't coincidence. So I saw that, and I realized, wow, like this person must have been putting hexes on me this whole time. Why is it that after all these years, I'm just finding out that everyone's connected to each other? Everyone knows each other in some type of shape or form. And what's more crazy is that I live in a different town, and he lives in a different town. And these people used to live in his town, but now live in my town. And this is how they saw us together. And those people, they moved to my town a long time ago. So I've been knowing them for a long time. He's been knowing them longer than me. But I thought that was strange, because we live in such a big world, big, full of, you know, different countries and cities. How the hell do we know? How am I in this same circle? You know, it's like they actually came for me, literally. They came after me. They've been watching me since I was younger, because all these people, like his friends, are older than me. So they've been watching me since I was a kid, basically a teenager, like 12, 13. They've been watching me. So I end up basically like finding out all this shit. And the mask is what really creeped me out. And that's when I realized, you know, what it was. And he woke up out of his sleep, and I was just looking at him, like my face was like, you could tell, like it was like I saw a ghost. And he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I went through everything. And then he was like, are you mad? And I'm like, no. And he's like, are you disappointed? And then I just nodded my head like, yeah. Like, I'm disappointed that this person tried to literally sabotage me, and it was all a game. And when I looked in his eyes, him and I had an understanding. This is why I'm telling you guys that it's very real. It's definitely real. And I've witnessed it. I'm like on a whole nother level. I've spoken to these people. So he literally told me, are you disappointed? And I just nodded my head like, yeah, I'm disappointed. Like, this is humanity. This is what it's about. You know, and this is you think you're getting brainwashed only through your, you know, through the school system and things like that. You don't know how deep it gets, you know, that these people, these men and women are put into your life, family members, all this, you realize all these lies have been going around for such a long time. So yeah, I basically was just like shocked. And then he goes, "You're a soldier." No. He goes, "You're a warrior. You really are a warrior." And I just look at him like that, like, wow, like, we're finally, after all this time we've been knowing each other and you've been faking a lot of shit, lying to me, you're finally admitting to me the shit that you did, the stuff that you lied on me about, how you slandered my name. But then you come in my face and pretend to be nice. And then when I finally, you know, can't take it anymore, try to turn everyone against me because you have been feeding lies to everyone for a long time. So you have to understand that these people are pathological liars, and they're programmed that way, and they were sent to you to program you to think negative thoughts, to make you unhappy. But with you learning all these things and learning what's going on, you have to understand how powerful you are. You have to understand your light. You have to understand that your brain is like a computer. Before we had these phones, our brain was literally the Wi-Fi. And right now, a lot of people are on their phones. They're getting brainwashed and they're not being connected. And it's important for us to stay connected. Just because you choose not to remember a phone number doesn't mean that you can't remember a phone number, right? Yeah, they tried to program you from, you know, a long time, but you can program yourself to beat this shit, to literally beat these people, these liars, these conniving cheaters, and these people who are sent to destroy you. You can change your thought process by putting yourself in a better environment, separating yourself from liars, from people who wish harm on you. Tell yourself affirmations, you know, every single morning, because you've been programmed for so much. You have to unprogram yourself. And if you keep telling yourself you can't get over the lies, you can't get over the deceit, you can't get over the abandonment, you can't get over just the humanity as a whole, how many evil people they are. You know, these people are robots. They're the walking dead. But there are people out there that are living to survive, you know, this big, huge fight. And this is how we find each other, you know, and understand each other and realize that we're not alone in this. We all have to get through it by telling ourselves, you know, that, you know, we forgive ourselves and we forgive others, and we are lovable and we are brave, we are worthy. You know, you have to tell yourself, I receive love, you know, with a grateful heart. You know, the past is gone. I live only in the present. You know, and understand that not everyone is meant to be in your life forever. Everyone is here for different seasons. And it's like you had to go through different seasons of your life. It doesn't matter what you went through. It matters now and who you are right now. And understand that even by you staying at home, if you've just been through so much and you're staying at home and you're afraid to go out, you're afraid of people, look, you have to take baby steps. You know, put a hat on, put some glasses on, you know, put a shield over your eyes that are beaming. you have to do different things to be able to still enjoy the good that's out there, nature, the birds, the animals, everything around us. They're trying to stop you from seeing the beauty in things, so that you end up, basically putting yourself in your own jail, because not only have they persecuted you and tried to put you in a literal jail, but they'll try to put you in a spiritual jail. So you have to get out there, you have to forgive yourself, and you have to live to fight another day, literally. Like I said, these people will come to you. I had an incident where like recently, the house that I live in, I don't want to get too deep into it, but basically I got a letter in the mail from, I get these letters where people send me that they want to buy my house and stuff. But this letter was different. This buy my house advertisement had a picture of my actual house on the postcard, like my whole house, my car, my plate numbers. It was a whole digital picture of my house on the post. So when I got it, I was like, I always get these. I've been getting them for years, but this one has an actual picture of my house, the car, everything, plate numbers, like a digital picture. I really got creeped out, and I actually called the people and I was like, why did you guys, I understand you guys are selling houses, but why did you guys take a digital picture of my house? Like, that's kind of weird, don't you think? And then the lady goes, yeah, I know it's kind of weird. We only do it to some houses. And she's like, I can take you off the list if you just give me your address and your information. And I just ended up hanging up on her, and I realized that it's serious, man. But these people will come and just really try their best to get to you. But I just want you guys to know that, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's actually a very beautiful thing not to live every day in peace, calmness, when you finally get rid of all the bull BS. Even if BS comes to you, you see it for what it is now, and it doesn't bother you. It's kind of like when you're young and you get a parking ticket and you're panicking and you're like, oh my God, I got my first ticket. How did this happen? But now you know that things like a parking ticket, those things are not important. It's not a worry of, it's not a thing to worry about. It's not something that can't be fixed. Everything can be fixed. Everything can be restored. Your mind can be restored. You are your own computer, and you are the system. Your soul is the system that controls your destiny, controls your whole motherboard. So you have to make sure that you're utilizing those things now that the computer is on, now that you've put your original program on that system. They don't feel bad about what they do, and nothing is coincidence. Everything, when you start paying attention to the signs and the numbers, because the numbers help me a lot. Like I was saying with my story and what I went through, this person told everyone that they never came home that night. They told everyone that they never came home drunk. They never even came home. They said that they got that DUI as soon as they got off of work. Basically letting everyone know that they were at work. That was their cover-up story, that they were working and they just got off work and they got pulled over by the police, and I got the nerve to talk bad about them. That is not what happened. I didn't eat that food. That food that I left for him, he ate it. And I didn't eat that. I left that for him. That juice, I left that for him, and somehow that juice was all over the floor and the food was eaten. So you were drunk eating, and he denied everything and turned everyone against me and on me. And it got to the point where I started to think I was crazy. Like, maybe he did come home, but who ate this food and who left this juice all over the floor with an extension cord in the middle? So everything is a setup, you guys. These people know what they're doing. They're out here, especially if you know a spiritual narcissist, and you guys are very in tune with what's going on. They'll use the knowledge that they have to take advantage of you and pretend to be a nice person as well. So you guys really watch out who you have around you. The narcissists, they will always be pathological liars. Everyone that they come across, they will lie to, because they're just very, this is their mission. Their souls are literally doomed. So they're trying to take as many people as they can with them. Till this day, that narcissist that I dealt with, he's even denying that he's actually saying that DUI that he got, that he wasn't even that drunk, that he had one beer, and that the police actually set him up. So somehow he became the victim of being gang stalked, but he's the one doing the gang stalking and doing the pathological lying. So you can't believe anything these people say. They're out to destroy everyone they come across. But you have a chance to keep moving forward, and I'm here. A lot of us are here. So just know you're not alone. And I wish you guys nothing but positive vibes, nothing but peace and love. And I'll talk to you guys on my next video. I know this was kind of long, but I hope that you guys were able to learn a lot from this and understand just how this, the manipulation, the lying, and the gang stalking and everything goes hand in hand. So subscribe, like, share, comment below.